And it is unfortunate that some individuals, some ethnicities in the damnable zoological republic do not understand the game plan of the enemy. Grateful to Almighty God in heaven for the wonderful gift of revelation, discernment, knowledge, and reasoning that he has given to us. This very generation of Biafrans. It doesn't matter what we encounter, what we are going to encounter, ultimately victory is ours. I want our people to understand is that victory is ours. Nobody can take that away from us. Victory is ultimate. Are we going to suffer? Yes. Are they going to kill us? Of course they will. Are we going to kill them? Yes, we will. But eventually we are going to win. We always win. From nothing, look at where we are today by the grace of Almighty God in heaven, not due to anything that we have done or capable of doing. From nothing. This very movement rose from nothing to be the force that it is today all around the world. Thanks to the grace of God Almighty in heaven, we must remain very grateful and give him every glory and adoration, every exaltation, every honor and every glory belongs to God and not to man. We are only here doing the bidding of heaven, that the will of God Almighty on this very earth as it is in heaven. Our enemies must understand that we are ready for them. No death will go unpunished, and will go unpunished. I have placed the world on notice that we are not going to tolerate all this garbage again, because we are despised for no reason. We are hated by people that we have served slavishly for centuries. Those that gave us the Bible, those that gave us Christianity, they turned around and are today colluding with Islam to destroy us. Colluding with Islam to destroy us. They don't want us to live. I have said it in secret after in the open. Britain do not want us to live, to survive as a race. They want to exterminate us. And they are using Fulani Janjaweed to do it. But they will never succeed. That we assure them. The order that I've given stands, and it will not be rescinded until Biafra is free. By virtue of what they did on Sunday, we are never ever going to stop until Biafra is completely restored, its full sovereignty restored. We are going to live like free people the way we were before Britain came. Britain is not God. They are not. Admittedly, they are a very progressive, conscientious nation. But unfortunately, they have evil people within them. They are the ones orchestrating this Islamization agenda. They are the ones driving forward this Fulanization, this Wahhabism, this very dangerous jihad. It is them. They are closet Muslims. They are. They want to overrun our land. And we are going to prove to them that God in heaven is with us. For everybody we lose, we will kill 100 of them. And as I've said before, their bodies they will not see. People say I should try and I shouldn't sound violent. I said to hell with all of you. They are killing us. Every blessed day they are killing, they are arresting, they are molesting. Fulani things they can use their terrorism. The same way they defeated Hausa people and conquered them. The same way they crushed the Nupe people. The same way they took part of Yoruba land in Kwara State and destroyed them. The same way they took over Gbagi. The same way they took over Jugu. The same way they destroyed everywhere all the way to northern Igala. They think they can do something to us. I want to prove to them that God, the same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same way is with us. This very generation. We have gone back to who we are. And they cannot defeat us. It doesn't matter how many that comes, they will fall on the right, they will fall on the left. into victory. There is nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter how much. As I told them, I published on my page before I came live on air. Our IPOB community radio app is listened to in 154 countries. That never happened between 67 and 70, never. People don't understand the power of media. They don't know how potent media is. Our minds have been conditioned over the decades. They have fine-tuned our brains over the decade to reason as foolishly as we are doing today. That is why the Janjaweed will have the temerity to come into our land and build their settlements in our forest. When you challenge them, they kill you. In broad daylight, they will come, the army will be firing at people in broad daylight and killing them, and the whole world keeps quiet. Because we have been conditioned to reason that way. But not any longer. Because this very broadcast tonight is being listened to all over the world. I said all over the world. Minimum on our app, 154 countries you can capture. That is only on IPOB community radios. That tells you our reach, our formidability, or should I even say preponderance. It doesn't matter how our enemies disguise themselves. They can issue as much notice as they like. They are Janjaweed, they will always misbehave because they're very foolish. They think because Britain gave them the zoo, Nigeria, they can do whatever they like. They can come out and kill, pillage, rape, and dismember people at will, and nobody will ask them any questions because Britain gave them Nigeria to do as they please. But they are mistaken. People must understand why we are the way we are. For 50 years, we were very quiet. 50 whole years after the war, we kept quiet, hoping and thinking that things will change, that the world will understand our plight, that they will come around, to the understanding that, oh, these are gentle people, they are peace-loving people. Let us try and redress all the ills and the wrongs that we've done to them. Nobody said anything for 50 years. Instead, they kept subjugating us. They kept forfeiting us for half a century. For half a century, they continued. They did not stop. To repress and oppress to the point whereby, very blatantly in the open, they are doing things and saying to everybody, what can you do? That somebody who they claim was elected into office, died in office. That is the height of impunity. And that is why they are moving and pushing this agenda of Islamization and Janjaweedism. That because the death of Buhari emboldened them. Because Buhari died in office, they can get any idiot and put a mask on his face. Because of that, and all of you swallowed it. That is why they have the guts and the temerity to be doing what they're doing. They frightened all of you into submission. Luckily for them, they have traitors who are within. Right across the south, even the middle belt, they have traitors, well paid and well financed. And they gave birth to rubbish. And we are seeing them today, and I can assure you they can never go. I swear to God in heaven, they can't go free. And they know it. Ask the zoo, they will tell you what they're encountering. Even tonight, we will keep hunting. Non-stop until Biafra. I said non-stop until Biafra is restored. I said non-stop, and they know it. The order has been given. It can never, ever, ever be taken back. Now they will understand how serious we are. The world will now know how serious we are. That we've been very patiently, we've been waiting for over 50 years to recognize the injustice. But instead, they are piling more injustice on top of injustice. And you want us to keep quiet? You have to be dreaming. You must be dreaming, I assure you. We must brace ourselves for what is to come. They are moving about all over the place. If you are vulnerable, they will take you and they will kill you. That is the way the Fulanis behave. Because they are terrorists by nature. That is why they have 6 terror groups. Only them, 6 terrorist groups. Only Fulani formed 6 terror groups. To terrorize all of you, to kill you, and to make you submissive to their way of life. And it's not going to happen. Not in Biafra land. They can take anywhere else but not Biafra land. That is why, for those of you who may be wondering why things are the way they are the way they are because the zoo is evil. Pathetic nature of a black man, because reasoning capacity of a black man, because a black man is wayward in his analytical mind, so to speak. That is why things are the way they are. That is why things are the way they are with us. Some of you are in for a shock. Some of you are in for a shock. Because some of you see, as Obasanjo said, when you see what you're not supposed to see and fail to do what you're supposed to do, you will live with the consequences. But because we are black people, we do not understand the gravity of that very comment. He was speaking to us in proverb, or should I say in adage. Very few people could discern what the man was saying. Now listen carefully, please. Governor Matawale enforces immediate use of Islamic calendar in Zamfara schools. Are you listening? Islamic calendar in a secular country, in a place where you pledge allegiance to the state. They are not even introducing, they are forcing Islamic calendar on the people of Zamfara. Which goes to show that we are not the same people. We are not one country and can never be. We are different. These are the things that ordinary a black person, a black man or woman that went to school, ordinary primary school, ought to be able to understand, but they do not know. Ask yourself this question. Why would a governor of a state in a so-called secular country created by a Christian country, mind you, Britain, so to speak, why would they have the effrontery to tell you that in their schools? So it doesn't matter who is in that school. If you're a Christian, if you practice Judaism, if you're a traditionalist, it doesn't matter where you belong. Once you're in Zamfara State, you now have to operate under Islamic calendar. And I want to tell you something. For some of you who are so stupid as to dismiss it, I want you to understand the implications of this very thing that they have done and why we are fighting this good fight to make sure that we are free. Some of you are daft until they slice off your neck. As I said before, I studied the history of slavery. When I was studying the history of slavery, I wasn't interested in who took who, from where, how they were crying, how they were complaining. I was trying to interrogate the reason why we did not fight back. That only 5,000 Europeans are and take away nearly 20 million people. I was trying to understand it. I was asking God, did you create them differently? How is it that when we saw these people, we were so frozen that they had to take 20 million of us, and we became slaves for offering free labor for 250 years. Any day you sit down and think about the implications of slavery and the role that fellow black people played in the enslavement of their own kind, their own children, that day you will begin to reason like us. That day you will reason like us. Ask yourself this question. Why was it possible that only 5,000 Europeans, they came to West Africa, they emptied West Africa, and not only that, they now turned around to tell us who should be in the same country with us? If that is not owning somebody, I don't know what I say. In fact, the creation of states in Africa like Nigeria is confirmation that a black man is inferior to a white man, take it anywhere. Because you cannot go. You can never ever go to Europe and do the same thing. You can't. They will kill you there. Look at slavery and why slavery became possible. Then you look at the suffering of black people, you understand why the zoo is the way it is. You will understand why a minority group, an ethnic group that is in the minority, they are not indigenous to Nigeria. They are not. They came from somewhere else. They are not the original owners of the land. Ask yourself, how is it that people who are not the least educated, they move cattle from place to place? By moving cattle from place to place, they are able to conquer those with PhD. Ask yourself that question. That way, you will understand the way that a black man reasons in that part of the world. How is it possible that people that came from Futajalon, or moving only cattle, were able to overrun advanced civilizations? Because by the time the Fulanis came to take Hausa land from them, and renamed Gober to Sokoto, for Hausa civilization was centuries ahead of every other in West Africa. Great empires were built. The Songhai, the Krenempron, great empires were built. Ask yourself, how is it possible that people that built empires, people that were manufacturing guns nearly 300 years ago, how was it possible that they were defeated by people who were driving cattle? Ask yourself that question. That day you will know how foolish a black man is, especially those from West Africa. How also people were there in the Fulanis came with their ordinary cattle. They proceeded to go and create traitors, efulefus within Hausa people. The efulefus, what the efulefu does is like a left jab in boxing. You keep jabbing somebody, preparing them for the correct, knockout blow. That's what they did. So the work of a saboteur is to soften the ground for the Janjaweed to come in. They did it to Hausa people with perfection. They succeeded. They succeeded without any issue. You know what they did again? They now convinced Hausa by saying we are Fulani Hausa. They spoke Hausa language. They convinced the foolish Hausa people to now join them in their campaign to conquer others. And that was what happened. They're still doing it till today. And IPOB is saying no. We won't allow it to happen. They are very, very clever. They recruit, they come to those of you, those of you with long throat, those of you who are avaricious, so to speak. People being ruled by the demon of money making. They come to you. They say, do you want power? Do you want wealth? The same thing that Lucifer can offer anybody. You want power and you want wealth? Yes. Now betray your people. Give them to me to kill. That's what they do. And these efulefus, you see them, you think they are normal, you think their brains are correct. You see them, they'll be doing the work. What they are doing is to soften your resolve. The Fulani used this trick on the houses and it worked. They went all the way to Yoruba, took a lot from them. It worked. They always look for efulefus. They always look for traitors within. They plant them. They make them governors. They make them senators. Their job is to make sure that the aims and objectives of the Janjaweed is accomplished. Now you understand it, don't you? Now you understand the way they operate. You understand the way they work. You understand the way their mind operates. That is Fulani Janjaweed for you. That is the way they are. And in this time and age, it is not going to be any different. We are therefore warning our people. If you are a Biafran, you are in DSS, you are in the army or you are in the police, and they send you to go and attack us somewhere, and you foolishly come because you're one of the idiots they are using. And you think because you're a Biafran, you can be at the front to go and kill your people. I can assure you, you will die. Here's an assurance. You are going to die. And forget all these things. You see them driving around in the afternoon, driving through market squares and going to my village and perambulating. I say, come out at night and do the same thing. That thing you're doing during the day is rubbish. Come out if you're power, you're police, you have power and you have might. Come in the night and do the same thing. And see what will happen to you. They think they're clever, but we are more clever than they are. We are far, infinitely more clever than they will ever be. Today, tomorrow, and forever. We are warning them. And they must understand it. In Zamfara schools, they are operating Islamic calendar in a secular country. And some of you, all interested is who is going to rig election for us. When it's done of my village. And sometimes I don't want to speak against the spirit. Why did you put me amongst these people who cannot reason very well? All the places in the world I could come to as a human being, you put me within, surrounded by people who cannot reason, by ethnic groups who are being obliterated, they don't know it. People who are dying, they don't know that their death is being caused by their, should I say, by them belonging to this contraption that the British created. You don't have to be Einstein to understand that. You don't have to be. If you tell me how you can be in a country, anywhere in the world, one day a governor of a state wakes up and says, oh, from today, you're going to operate on the Christian calendar. Would that happen in the USA? Would that happen in the US? Or anywhere else that people are civilized? Will that ever happen? Will it happen in South Africa? Even ordinary Ghana. Will it happen in Ghana? The answer is no. Because you people, you don't reason. All you're interested is contract. How do I make money? You forget that these people, they operate like the devil. They are giving you something they know you want because they want your life and they will take it from you. You don't know that? Zamfara State Governor Bello Mohammed Matawale has ordered the immediate use of Islamic calendars in primary, secondary, and universities across the state. Universities as well. Universities across the state. And you're telling me you're in one Nigeria. You're in one Nigeria. You keep lying to yourselves. All of you know that the zoo is unworkable. You know that because of your avaricious nature, because you want money, because you're poor, because you're desperate, you will do anything for money, you will do anything to go and build houses in your village. Because of that, you sell your soul and your conscience. You are working for Fulani, you don't know it. As BBC Igbo is. BBC Igbo is working for Fulani. Only an idiot cannot see it. I warned you 4 years ago. I told you that people asked us, oh, why do you do what you do? We said, we are always on the offensive. Because one day BBC will come. Any of you who can remember, I told you that there will come a time when BBC will come. And that reveal themselves, who they are. Unless you are intelligent, you won't know that BBC was working for Fulani. You can never tell, unless you have brain. People travel to overseas, they say, let's go. I got admission to go to Civil Aviation Institute in Florida, to go and become a pilot. To go and become a pilot. My father said no, because then he was very, very much okay. He said no, that the fees are too cheap. Somebody said to my father, only those who plan to travel abroad are those who are not educated, or those who couldn't pass JAMB and WAEC. I want to tell you something. I wanted to go to US. I had my admission to go and study to become a pilot. One day, something occurred to me. And I said to my father, I'm no longer going. Since you want me to prove to you how intelligent I am, I'm going to go to the best university you have around, which is UNN, in Nsukka. And I did. I entered in Nsukka. And after a while, I said to my father, I now want to go to Britain. My father said, why do you want to go to England? I said, because that is where our problem started from. I want to understand how these people, a few of them, they were not even up to 50. They came down, they went to Ghana. They recruited black people from Ghana to come and help them conquer their fellow black people in Badagry. I said to my father, I want to go there to understand the way they reason. That was why I went to England to go and study. And today we know. You have to be a fool not to understand what BBC is doing. You have to be a complete idiot not to know their game plan. One day they'll bring somebody like Abharibe, somebody they know we all respect, revere, and love very much. And another they'll go and bring one Efulefu working for Fulani. That is what they do. You don't know them, that is what they do. It is their job. It takes people who can reason to understand this. Your senses you have to be switched on for you to know their game plan. That their plan is to overrun us. Their plan, the plan of BBC Igbo and all the rest of them, is to help, as they did during the war, as they did between 67 and 70, is to help them to overrun us. As they did, the reason why they set up Willing Commission was to weaken us, to divide us, to create Niger Delta. You go back in history, you will see their pattern of divide and rule and destruction. And then you will understand it very well. But we are saying this to them today, that we are better dead than alive. Instead of us to remain in the zoo called Nigeria, they better kill us. They have to kill all of us, because we can never belong to Nigeria. It is impossible. We can never do it. We have started and there's no going back. There is no going back. Not today, not tomorrow. The people talk about, our people, they don't have access to proper education. That is the problem that an average Nigerian has. They have no proper access to decent, qualitative education. They will understand it. For them to understand what we are doing, go and read the history of freedom fighting and of liberation movement all over the world. Go and study it from top to bottom. They always start with the ragtag army, from Chairman Mao to, should I say, from Washington to Chairman Mao to Fidel Castro, to all of them. They always start that way. But when this glory and victory comes, then we can sit back and rewrite history, if we choose to do. In the zoo called Nigeria, a governor came out single-handedly, introduced Islamic rule in Zamfara, in a so-called secular and an idiot is standing up somewhere and talking about Nigeria. Let us work together for Nigeria. I don't understand the planet. These are the people planted by the Janjaweed. These are the same people. Their type was the reason why Hausa land fell. Their type was the reason why Wagi fell. Their type was the reason why TV fell. Their type is the reason why Jukun. All of these places collapsed to cattle headers in the national man, cattle rearers, stark illiterates. Go and look at our news during the war. If you want to know how evil BBC is, go and look at our news during the war. Analyze BBC coverage of Biafran war. You will shed tears. You will know they are evil. They were the ones that came and said, 1 million people died of starvation. They never gave the accurate figures of those that died, as to be near over 5 million people died as a result of British wickedness. Britain said there should be no supply of arms to either side. Don't sell arms to Biafra, don't sell arms to Nigeria. But Britain went behind our back, went to Russia, negotiated with Russia so that Russia can supply arms to Nigeria. Are you aware of that? Look at the map of Nigeria. Have you ever seen, if you bring any country in the world and you want to do north, south, east, and west, you divide it equally? Do you know that Britain helped Fulani to the extent whereby into our own land today, there are 3 local governments in Benue. 3 local governments in Benue, they are Igbo people. Conk Igbo, they speak Igbo language, but today they are part of Fulani North. Are you aware of that? This is, people say, oh, but, when they used to accuse us of being disrespectful to elders, and I ask them, you are an elder, you claim you have PhD, you studied in Oxford, Cambridge, everywhere else. How come you allowed 3 local governments from your land to be given to Janjaweed for free in Benue? Nobody can answer that question till today. That was what we said. They don't know what they're doing. They don't love our people. They claim they do, but they don't. The reason why they do what they do is just to get money from Janjaweed, to build upstairs, to answer minister, to answer this, honorable and excellency. That is all. The love of the people is not in their heart. They never loved our people. If I lived in their time, do you think I will allow our land to be balkanized? Do you think I will allow any stupid commission to draw boundary? What they do is that when they come to your state, as they have now done to Mahi, they say, make Ebonyi state Islamic state, we'll give you presidency. And the idiot is busy making it an Islamic state. Very busy trying all he can to make it. He made an announcement today that only if we see any children driving cattle in Ebonyi State, you will be arrested. How about the adults with AK-47? This is how they get into our people. And I expect somebody as learned, a man that I used to respect. So people should be learned enough to understand when their land is under danger of occupation. Because the only thing that will stop the Fulani Janjaweed is Atlantic Ocean. And now, of course, IPOB. And now IPOB, and they know it very well. Are we, you know, some idiots come and they write, show us arms. Show us the army. If you want to know if we have anything or not, ask the Zoo Army and DSS. Ask them how they're getting it. Then they're the ones to tell you, not me. Because anything I say live on air will be used against me. And of course, you know that. Ask them why they are doing their gra-gra show in the afternoon, not at night. Forget all that nonsense siren in the afternoon, making noise. Come out at night. And we'll show you who we are. Mad people everywhere. A governor has made you so if your child is in Zamfara, let's say they transfer you to Zamfara. All of a sudden, your child will now start operating under Islamic calendar. And the fools that some of you are, you come out and say, oh, one Nigeria. Nigeria, let's work for Nigeria. And anyway, the same way that some of your ancestors said, don't stop slavery because we're making money out of it. Never you dare stop slavery. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. A black man and a black mind is self-destructive. Self-destructive. And I'm very, very happy that Pastor Chris or Yakilome at last that is to tell you the depth and the importance of our broadcast. When we make our broadcast, people sometimes they oh, it's too outlandish, too outrageous. But when you go back and you sit down and you reason, you come to the same conclusion that we have come to. Because we see things that ordinary human beings cannot see. Way before they see it. Pastor Chris Oyakhilome is not saying something that I've been saying all this while. He listened to our broadcast. He went and did his research. He found out it's the truth. And very few black people can do that. Very few black people can come out and say, yes, what those people are saying is the truth. And I'll follow them. Somebody left their land, came and named you black, which means everything ugly and black under the sun. And I read a comment, somebody challenging Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, saying, you don't say that, I'm black. You know, when you see a baboon, when you see a black monkey, when you see a monkey, an African that is so backward in his reasoning, you wonder, did God waste his time creating such an evil person? Did you name yourself black? A white man named you black. Why did they name you black? Because they say you don't like light. You are backwards. You are evil. There is no light where you are. And you're fighting. I say, oh, I'm black. Don't say that I'm black. Because over the years, you have been conditioned to reason like the idiot you are. That is why, despite all your... Ask yourself this question. I started by, when I left UNN and went back home and I said to my father, you must send me to England. My father said, why? I said, how can I be in a university? In a university. Reading geography. I don't know what an igneous rock looks like. For one day, I never went for a field trip. Everything is theory, on paper, in class, showing you diagrams. I said to my father, what sort of nonsense is that? A university is meant to be a place where you will go to and you will see everything, you will learn everything, they radicalize you, you think like you question everything. At the university, you see people needing, oh, sir, they are answering professor, sir. I went to a university, my supervising professor was Dr. James Chiriakandat. I used to call him James. If you call him Dr. Chiriakandat, he'll tell you, no, don't call me doctor, call me James. That's how close we were. My supervisor of my project, I can never forget. This is where they teach you to reason, to learn. The most important thing the white man never taught African people is how to reason and to reason critically. How to reason. Yeah, I was shocked when I saw Pastor Chris's video. I was flabbergasted. I said, what? Yes, Exactly what I had lectured on Radio Biafra. He did his own research. He even brought out other points that I never knew concerning this name, Black, that they gave to you, and you're answering with pride. Typical black people. And now in Zamfara is Islamic State. Now, if a governor, let's say for instance, one governor, let's say we can now, we have to come out to say every school in River State will now operate under a Christian calendar. They will call for his head immediately. But they are doing it in the north, and nobody's talking. In other words, the zoo has been divided already. You are operating a multi-system sham, not even democracy. That's what you have. And only IPOB has the mind, the presence of mind to challenge and to bring your stupidity before your eyes so you can see properly. Do you know why we are different? You know, sometimes, all the time, we lament when, all these forces of darkness converge against us. But we don't stop there. We know that if we rely on zoo newspapers to carry our news, we'll be like, we'll be dead like Masop is. Or should I say Bim, not Masop, Bim. They relied on people to carry their news for them. I want you to understand the reason why we preach regularly on the inconsistent. After all, you go, the same Bible that you have, go and bring out your Bible. Every Sunday, before you were born, your ancestors were, I wouldn't say ancestors, your great-grandfathers were going to church with the same Bible. Pastors have been preaching from the same Bible every Sunday, and then after about 20 years ago, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the same Bible. They preach it every blessed week. You still go to church. You're not tired. Are you tired? Because they want you to learn. When you go to school, you start from kindergarten. Maybe you do it for about 2 years, from the age of 4 to the age of 6. And then from the age of 6 to the age of 12, you are in primary school. From the age of 12 to the age of 18, O-levels and A-levels. You're still learning. Until you're in your mid-20s, you're investing, you are still learning. For nearly 20-something years, you're learning. But somebody wants to listen to Radio Biafra for 2-3 days and then tell you, oh, please, give us arms, let's go to war. So we can build another useless black African country. Then you're insane. That is why we educate you. That's why we lecture you. That is why we tutor you. That is why we enlighten you. So that your brain, if you're foolish, absolutely fine. You refresh your system, you turn off your phone perhaps and reboot your phone. It should be okay. I am not getting any complaints. I am not getting any other complaints, so I believe that the app is okay. Which is IPOB Community Radio. Now, to tell you how clever Fulani people are, they think that, it's Britain that is giving them all the brain. They think they are clever. They think they are very smart. What they want to do is to subdue everybody. So that what they do is that the army and the police is the advanced party of the Janjaweed, Boko Haram. The advanced party of ISIS in West Africa. That is what they do. The police and the army you see every day is to soften you up. The real army of darkness is coming behind them. It's coming behind them. Remember Jos. Some of you don't know the history of Jos. Go and study Jos very well. It took them many years to subdue Jos. I think it's the Biron people. They have been subdued. Now they're going to get an emir in Jos. That is the way they work. They spend years, Fulani is very patient, they spend years putting pressure on you, direct and indirect pressure. In the meantime, they'll be rigging election. They'll be influencing who is your PG, who will emerge your social cultural leader, who is your governor, who is your senator. But at a particular time, every of your senator, every governor, as they have done now, in the whole of Biafra land, with the exception of Wike, every governor in your land, and of course, Udo Emmanuel, who is doing very well in Akwa Ibom, with the exception of those people, every other person is in their pocket. If you talk, they say, we'll remove you. And you start panicking. And for you to stay in power, remain relevant to the answering excellency and be controlling billions of naira, worthless naira, you do anything they ask you to do. Anything. That is why people are killed. Innocent people are killed. None of the governors ever rose up to condemn what happened. They cannot speak. That tells you who their master is. But Ihejrika was bombing Boko Haram a certified terrorist group killing, bombing, and maiming people all over the place in the north. Buhari came out and said an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the north. Very, very open. They voted for him and he won. But look at the type of politicians you have. With the exception of Abaribe, look at the people you have. They killed their own children in front of their eyes. People that committed no crime. Because how can you promise 7 governors the president at the same time? And they all know they've been promised something, all of them together. And they are now working as much as possible to outdo each other in terms of how they sabotage their own people. And these are the people you want us to respect? You want us to respect people that their own people are being killed and they kept quiet. You want us to respect them. Now you know. If you want to know the difference between a man and a weasel, if you want to know an Abuja-sponsored politician, go and look at all of them. It was only Abaribe that spoke. Only Abaribe that said something sensible. Look at, have they said anything? And these are the people you want us to vote for to become president. You want us to vote for these people who couldn't utter a word when the people were being killed. These are the people you want us to make president. That time, they will tell them, if you want to go for second term, go and kill all of your youth. Go and kill IPOB. They will come and they will do it. You see this slaughter of IPOB family members in Enugu is a two-edged sword. Now, I want you to tell me who amongst all the idiots doubting they want to be president, who amongst them is qualified if you cannot speak up against injustice against your own people? You want to be president? Come now, let us see who wants to be president. By then, anyway, Biafra will stand on his own. They are wasting their time. No wonder they're sabotaging it. Somebody, because of your presidential ambition, you don't want Biafra to come. You don't want your people to be free. You want us to be suffering. All because you and your family, you want to answer head of state of Nigeria. Because of that, we must suffer. Because of that, we must continue to endure Fulani Janjaweedism. Because of one man's ambition to be president. And in this case, should I say 7 men? Because they go about, distributing it like a confetti, flying it all over the place. Oh, you want to be president of Nigeria? It's your turn, Igbo man, it's your turn, yes. Because of that, you'll be president, yes. But now, give us a Mietiala settlement in your village. And they willingly they give. They say, oh, there's a way to do it. You need to be strategic. Strategize what? Are you more intelligent than Azikiwe? Are you more intelligent than Azikiwe? They outmaneuvered him. As learned, as wise as Azikiwe was, they managed to outmaneuver him. Talking of a wretched idiot with a bot degree from somewhere that forgot his boxer shorts in the north. As somebody said, well, perhaps when they are a bit normal, when their backside is a bit normal, they talk sense. Once their backside has been opened up in Katsina and in Sokoto, they start talking rubbish. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Of course, it will not surprise me at all. If our app is under attack, we expect it from them. But in the end, we always prevail. We always prevail. People are listening and they're saying it is fine, that it's okay. That's what I'm hearing. So anybody writing about it is wasting their time, of course. That is Sharia coming. Not even Sharia, Islam is coming your way. You see their trick and you see their game. You all see it, but you keep quiet. When IPOB says, oh, go and kill them, and some of you are jumping up and down. You think we will forgive and forget? You've got to be joking. You've got to be dreaming. Because we can never, ever forgive and forget. It is impossible. Absolutely impossible. You must understand that. You must understand that. You must. That's what they're doing. There is security alert in our place, please. Inokon Ako Ohafia in Ohafia LGA. In Ohafia LGA. Yesterday and today, there was a Toyota Camry car with a tinted glass, escorted by 2 army military vans loaded with armed Fulani soldiers, patrolling the village of Okon Ako every morning around 10 o'clock, taking live video and pictures of the environment as they patrol on their convoy. I want our people to know, all of you in Ohafia, to take note of these very people who are perambulating. We also understand that some Ifulefus in Enugu may be responsible going door to door and pointing at homes where people are living. Our people must be very, very careful. They will only come in the afternoon. They cannot come at night, because if they come at night, they know they will never go. They know they can never, ever go. They understand that very, very well. That is why they are doing all they can to make sure they arrest many people in the afternoon. These are murderers and killers. That is why they are terrorists. Anybody you see in army or police uniform is a terrorist. I am warning you now, they are all terrorists, and they must be treated like terrorists. The merchants of terror that they are, that is the treatment that they deserve, and we will not stop in our campaign until the world recognizes that Nigerian army and police are terrorists in uniform. Even worse. Anybody doubting you, go and show them the video of the carnage, where because they specialize in killing unarmed civilians. That's what they do. Boko Haram, they run away, they go and look for Chad, they beg Cameroon, they beg Niger, please come and help us. America, give us a helicopter, these are come and help us. When it comes to unarmed civilians, you see them, they are boasting and jumping all over the place. Because that is Fulani's motto. The way they operate, they intimidate, they subdue, they terrorize, and they take over your land. That's what they do. But not in Biafra land, they cannot do that. And they know that very, very well. They know that very, very well. The governor of Enugu State, where the massacre of innocent people happened, has been told, he's been told by Abaribe, Senator Abaribe, the only man left standing. The only man left standing. The rest are lily-livered cowards who should have no business with politics. It's our turn. Our presidency, rubbish, spreading their money everywhere, thinking they're going to deceive us again. You are dreaming. All of you are dreaming. It doesn't matter. You take your stupid presidency and put it where the sun doesn't shine. You are all dreaming. If they can kill your people, you cannot speak. You want to come and contest for praise. Let us see where you're going to go and do the campaign. Let us see where you do the campaign. Mad people everywhere. Abaribe have told Enugu State Governor to institute a panel of inquiry. If they are going to do it, we do not know. Nobody has an idea, but they have been told to try and institute a panel of inquiry to look into what happened. He was the only man that spoke. Look at the rest of them. Senator this, Senator that. I want to contest for Anambra. I want to contest for Imo. Look at all of them. They didn't say a word. They are afraid if we say something now, we will damage our chances. You see the way they reason. But we stood behind Abaribe, and they did all their nonsense. Abaribe returned with almost 95% of the votes. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know what is wrong with them. You're so frightened of Fulani Janjaweed that you cannot speak the truth because you want political office. Mad people everywhere. The Senate Minority Leader Abaribe on Tuesday condemned the alleged killings of Igbo youth in Emene, Enugu State, by some security operatives. He said the killings of the Igbo have given room to wide suspicion of a sinister. Of course, there's always been a sinister motive. They compressed the economy of the East, so we have to travel abroad to look for greener pastures. If you're lucky, you get a visa. If not, you head to Lagos or you head to Abuja, you head to Kaduna, you head to Zaria, you head to Sokoto, you go to Kanu or you go to Maiduguri. That's what they have done, very cleverly. Now, since we have defied all their attempts to depopulate our land, to bring in Janjaweed from across the Sahel, they have resorted to killing people. And that is what we are resisting. Abaribe said there must be, and it will not cost the Enugu governor anything. He is no longer seeking for re-election. So I see no reason why he should not be able to constitute a panel of inquiry. And nobody can impeach him because if they try it, they know what will come their way. It will never, ever, ever happen. So we do not know what is happening. I do not know. I do not know. Please, very, very important that our people understand this, that the Enugu State Governor has been told, go and constitute a panel of inquiry, and he must do it, to find out. We want to prove to the world what happened. But I'm sure the Fulanis won't let him. We want to prove to the world what happened in Enugu. We want to let the world understand that the Zoo army and police, that they are terrorists. Zoo is Nigeria. That they are terrorists. These are the things that the world must bear in mind. And that is why we must remain resolute and relentless. The time now is top of the hour. A minute past 8 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. We are live and we are direct. And the whole world is listening. The whole world, our people must be very, very careful. And always video them. Always take pictures of them. Very, very important. Anytime you see, take these videos from a safe distance. Very, very important. Wherever you see them, you must take their videos. Because they have a habit of lying and denying the atrocities that they commit. Very evil. They want to do all these things. Go to your villages now. Most of the forests, you have Fulani settlements there. Some of you living in Enugu, you cannot tell me you have not seen them. When you travel to other places, do you live in the bush? We are in Oduduwa territory. We are in Janjaweed. We are in Hausa land. Are we not? Can't our people reason? Do we live in the forest? They come to our land. They go to the forest. They take it by force. So in a few years' time, they will tell us that we must have an emir, the emir of our people. And because of somebody's stupidity, the same thing we are suffering today, because of Azikiwe's stupidity, see where we are today. Azikiwe wanted to be prime minister of one Nigeria. Because of that, he showed our people, look at the mess we are in today. Look at the mess he left us with. The same rubbish is about to repeat itself. And our people are busy talking rubbish. Presidency. Go and look at the history of colonialism. Those that fought to end colonial rule. Look at what they did to Zeke. If you don't have any brain, go and check it very well. Ironsi was there and they killed him. Did the world fall to pieces? The answer is no. Fulani took over. I want our people to reason, please. Go and reason very, very well. And this very evening, you know these people, we are prepared. If you are a Biafran, or an Igbo man, woman, army or police or DSS, and they send you and you run out, you're coming. IPOB, what are you? Because they have promised you promotion. You will die. You will die. Because anybody in that uniform is seen as a Janjaweed. Once you're in that uniform and you're outside, you're seen as a Janjaweed. That is who you are. You're a terrorist to us. For your information. For your information. Now let me tell you precisely what they are reporting, so that the world may know and bear us witness. And I want this news to be put everywhere, so that the Fulefu and their parents will know. You know, most of them, their father is from the north, and they fathered them, and they gave birth to rubbish, a lineage of nonsense. Nigerian army cautions soldiers over alleged killings of DSS operatives by IPOB members, directs them to wear mufti in public. The Nigerian army is saying, do not wear your uniform outside your barracks. We don't want you to be attacked by IPOB. Anything that happens to you is your business. Even if you're wearing mufti, we know you. Once you're a soldier, we will find you, we will know where you are. If you're in a public transport, you are gone. Wherever we find you, copy what I'm saying. Send it to Trump, send it to Pompeo, send it to Queen Elizabeth, send it to David Cameron, is what I'm saying. If we find you anywhere, you are a goner. You are gone. For killing unarmed people. Almost every 6 months, you must kill people who are unarmed. Innocent people. And now you want to wear mufti and come outside. That's what it was reported by Sahara reporters. In an internal signal dispatched to different formations unit commanders, the Nigerian army asked all troops to be on their alert and to avoid individual movement in uniforms outside the barracks. Efulefu, what does that tell you? Okoko, what does that tell you? They know. They know. Do you know, we don't fight like cowards. We tell you what we are going to do before we do it. So you know. That's who we are. And we are telling them, even if you wear mufti and you have started something you cannot finish. The police commissioner in Enugu State, the DSS director in Enugu State, the army, 82 division, you have started something you can never ever finish. How many are you people? Do you outnumber us? Even if you recruit every Fulani Janjaweed into the army, do you outnumber Biafran people? You know you don't. No, you don't. You don't. They are warning them. They are warning them not to come to wear mufti. But if we see them, we will know them. It doesn't matter if you're Igbo, you are a Joy, you are Ibibio or Efik. Once you are with them, you are an enemy of the people. And you will suffer for it. So if you like, wear mufti. If you like, disguise yourselves as women and come out and do, you can wear wig. That is the running thing now in Abuja, mask. Aisha's boyfriend. They have 4 types of masks they can give him to wear to deceive all of you gullible fools. You cannot deceive us. You cannot deceive us. You cannot deceive us. Publish this news, please, from Sahara Reporters. You're cautioning your soldiers because of us. You have started something you cannot finish. Every time we'll be on our own, you'll be coming to kill us. Every time you see people, you kill. And what is wrong with you? Because you want to take over our land? You want to take over the land of Biafra? Is that what you think? Nnamdi Kanu is alive and you think you will take over Biafra land? In your dreams, all of you. You are all dreaming. Both you, all of you, your fellow Efulefus, the traitors who are within, you are all dreaming. And all of the fake accounts, all of the idiots you have contracted in Russia to be churning out fake accounts, writing rubbish, you have all failed. All of you have failed. You are wasting your money. You are wasting it. You have tried before to stop us. Did you succeed? You have tried. That was why you brought BBC Igbo, to see if BBC Igbo can confuse some idiots from questionable lineage. Have you succeeded? Have you succeeded? No, you cannot succeed. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Anybody who thinks that we are going to relent, you are dreaming. The more you kill us, the more formidable we become. The angrier we become. And the more the level of consequence you have to bear when the time comes. When the time comes, people who are reasonable see how they speak, see how they talk. Insecurity. Buhari, of course, is the Fulani government. Buhari, everybody knows that Buhari is dead. Yoruba should carry licensed guns. Gani Adams Council. If it is a Biafra now saying this, you see every manner of idiot. That was the only reason why I hated our people going to the north before the war was because of the nonsense they gave birth to. Hausa and Yoruba land. Rubbish. They gave birth to nonsense with Biafran names. Gani Adams, his council is saying that allow people to carry guns. If you say they will now call Umahi, they will call the governor. So, are you there? What are you doing? Do something. Remember, you're going to be the president. They know it's a lie. You know you're going to be the president of Nigeria, His Excellency. Are you there? The head of state, commander. This is an ordinary, useless, bloated governor. Are you there? Do something. The idiot will come out and issue a useless press release. Now you can see it. Wants to be carried in the open. To stop who? To stop Fulani. Fulani, for nearly 200, they have been on the march, non-stop, until they get to Atlantic. That is their mission. But a Fulefu can never see it. A Fulefu wants money. A Fulefu wants money because they know that being a Sabo pays. After the war, when we allowed people like Opa Biaseka to live, was the greatest mistake we ever made. Opa Biaseka. What they did, what Opa Biaseka's presence did was to embolden saboteurs, Sabo and traitors, to embolden them, to know that there is a reward. Because Fulani is always willing to pay. Once you come out to betray your people, Fulani will pay you very well. And that's what they're doing. And that is why they can never go scot-free. God is out. They know now. Don't they know that? They know that dead men and women walking. They understand that very clearly. They know that very well. If the zoo army is crying, how about an ordinary wretched cockroach? How about an ordinary wretched? We are not going to stop anyway. And everybody knows that. They are saying, we want to carry arms. Yoruba is saying, allow us to carry arms. And I will tell you the reason why later on. I will tell you the reason why later Yoruba is asking to carry arms. Begging that they want to carry arms. Because our people will need to understand what these guys have in store for us. What they have in store for us. That the world may know that the Fulani have come to conquer. And Britain is aiding and abetting them. Britain is the one supporting them. Moving them and pushing them forward. Go and conquer. Go and conquer. That guarantees free access to oil and gas. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Don't you know that? That is why they're doing what they're doing. And they have failed, and they will continue to fail. Now, Yoruba, Gani Adams is saying, the Generalissimo of Yoruba land is saying, allow us to carry guns to defend ourselves. Because you can see Fulani with his cattle, they have AK-47. They have, you'll be asking yourself, how can somebody who is moving cattle have gone from where? Supplied by the Nigerian army, protected by the Nigerian police. Do you understand that? Why would somebody moving cattle from place to place have AK-47? Why? Because you don't know that they are coming to conquer you until it is too late. Until it is too late. And let me tell our people one thing they don't know about the Fulani. The Fulani play, they wait. Over the years, they wear you out. Once they wear out your people by planting as many traitors and saboteurs as possible, then they now strike. Unfortunately, they have not been able to penetrate Yoruba structure that much. You know our people now, call one of them now. Pretend you're a Fulani man. Call any politician and say, you're going to be the next president we've been thinking. Look at Edo. You saw what happened in Edo. Look at Obiano during his election. He had to run to go and bow before Jubril. Look at Edo. They had to travel. Look at Bajabiamila, that's his name, the Speaker of the House. He had to convert from Christianity to Islam so they can make him the Speaker of the House. Look at Edo, the one that said he's contesting under APC. He's a pastor. He had to go and convert to Islam to win an election. You see how they control you? Do you see? You know, it starts as a joke. It's our turn, it's our turn. Look at the way they blackmailed and pressured Jonathan. He gave them INEC chairman. Once he gave them INEC chairman, that was the end of him. That was the end of him. Do you think Fulani will be objective in their life? Of course not. They produce nothing, they add nothing. They contribute no value to the economy. All they do is to steal, to cheat, to lie, and to terrorize. That's all they do. That is the only thing that they do. Who doesn't know that? Who does not know that? You saw them, they pressured Jonathan. Jonathan foolishly gave INEC to them. Look at where we are today. They want to do something in Yoruba land, and Yoruba are saying, no, you cannot do it here. They formed Amoteku. Now listen carefully to this, please. Our people don't, you know, once it comes now to the east, they say, hey, can't you see Amoteku? All the state assembly, they agreed. They will never remember. You know, there's a Fulefu, there's a way and a Fulefu things. They will never remember that Amoteku was formed being ratified by the various state assemblies that you have in Oduduwa land. That was how that's the history of it. Now that Amoteku is standing, and at least to an extent, helping to police and keep Oduduwa land safe. What have they done, the Fulani? They've been thinking. They thought that the East will go against the West. They thought Biafrans would go against Oduduwa by being against Amoteku. We came out. We were the first to support Amoteku. And we'll support it forever and ever. Now, since they couldn't divide them, they bribed some people to say, oh, this is not federal government, whatever rubbish. They bribed a few Muslim Yoruba to talk rubbish. They failed. Oduduwa was too strong on Amoteku. The governors moved very, although that some of the governors are in APCO, understand the difference between an Igbo Fulefu and the one from Oduduwa land. That's the difference. Despite the fact that most of the Yoruba governors they are in APC, they still went ahead to form a security outfit. Understand this very well. They formed Amoteku before the state assemblies ratified it. Yes? Good. Now, ask our land is under siege. Ebonyi. Every day we are battling in Ebonyi to keep Ebonyi safe. Ask the Efulefus you have in Ebonyi state. Ask them, please. Ask them, I beg of you. Why is it that you don't want to have a security outfit for the whole of the East? Ask them. And I will tell you why now. Because they have been promised presidency they will never ever see. Look at what they are. Look, I want the world to understand how the Fulanis are pressuring the Yoruba people to abandon Amoteku. Look at what I tell you. They have tried to pressure them to abandon it. They said no. They now want to water it down. I want to read the news for you so you understand. That is the way they work. When I told people that the creation of states was designed to hand power over to the Fulanis, they didn't understand it. You see, creation of states and local government is the worst thing to ever happen to people. The regions are very strong. Do you know why the Fulanis don't want any region? Because that was what was contained in Aburi. Britain is against region. If you have a regional structure, a confederation, a regional structure, they know that the economy of the East will surpass that of the UK. They know it very well. Britain doesn't want a shining beacon to come out of Africa. Britain does not want the world to see the ingenuity of Biafrans. They cannot do it themselves, so they're using Fulani to do it for them. And Fulani is, of course, being black, the demented people. They will do anything the white master asks them to do. So you don't know that? You don't know that they are doing the work of the devil for them? Because Britain knows that in a confederation, in an Aburi-styled Nigeria, that the East will be the best performing economy in the whole of Africa. They know that our economy will challenge that of Britain. They know that very well. Don't you know that? They know that very, very well. That is why they are doing all they can to suppress, to kill, to make sure that Biafra doesn't rise up. You don't know that? Now listen. Amotekun, a regional secretary. Now listen to this news. The presidency says the Western Nigeria Security Network, codenamed Operation Amotekun, will now be run in accordance with the structure defined by the Inspector General of Police, who happens to be a Fulani man. Do you understand? Now what they're going to do is to weaken Amotekun. What they're going to do is to try and get it to obey their command structure, to now allow Fulani Janjaweed terrorists to be able to penetrate Yoruba land without Amotekun being able to do anything about it. They want to control Amotekun. Are you following? Do you see the way the Fulani is the reason? Do you see how forward thinking they are? They know what Amotekun portends, that it will not allow them now to take over Yoruba land beyond Kwara State. They have taken already. Now, are you following? What did they say? They said the Inspector General of Police will now control the Western Nigerian Security Network. Are you following? The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said this on Channels Television Sunrise Daily. Shehu was speaking on the approval of 13 billion by the government for community policing across the 36 states of the Federation. He said, whatever name they go by, this is according to a Fulani man, Fulani spokesman for the presidency. Not president, but presidency. Whatever name they go by, Amotekun or whatever, this is what he's saying, he will not mention Hisbah. They have Hisbah police in the north. If you drink alcohol, they jail you. If you drink alcohol, they cut off your hand. If they catch you selling beer, they fine you, they flog you, they destroy all your wares. They will not tell you that they have just introduced Sharia, or should I say Islamic rule, in Zamfara State. They won't tell you that they have Islamic police in the north enforcing their Sharia rules. No, he won't tell you that. No, never. He is Muslim, he's Fulani. They own Nigeria. He will tell you what to do. Nigeria belongs to them, and they do as they please. Have you ever heard him before come out to talk about Hisbah police or Hisbah army? No, but he will talk about other people. And now, hear him. Look at how derisory, look at how insulting the language that he was using. Amotekun or whatever, look at that, will be streamlined, and they will be run in accordance with the structure as defined by the Inspector General of Police. They will be localized. They will be owned by local communities. They'll be managed by them. You know what he's saying? They will be localized means it can no longer be an Oduduwa force. It can no longer be a Yoruba defense arm. They want it to be handled by local government, so Miyetti Allah can overrun one after the other until they conquer the whole of them. You see how they think their brain is full, and you see their brain. Oh, you have formed Amotekun, there is no problem, but now they want to weaken Amotekun structure. By weakening it, they want to make it local. Local means, now you say, like in our land, you say, oh, it's now under the hands of the PG, President General. They go to the idiot and say, oh, Mietiala wants to buy land in your village. The land is worth maybe 4 million, but we'll give you 20 million. And allow Mietiala to be there. And give us where is your local security network? He will show them the vigilante. And Mietiala will go there and overrun them. As I posted earlier, for people who don't understand the way that Fulani reasons, some of you who pretend you don't know, why is it that IPOB family members were in a prayer meeting They mobilized the DSS, police, Air Force, and Army at the same time to go and kill people. Whereas when Nimbo, I posted it on my page, on my Facebook. Of course, Facebook is suppressing my post. I know that very well. I posted it on my page. Go to my page, you will see it. When Nimbo Ozowani was being attacked, I recall very clearly as I wrote today, I know that Ugwani was calling Buhari then, he was alive. Buhari never picked his call until the Fulanis finished killing people in Ozowani, and they left. Once they left, Buhari answered the phone when he was alive. And I want to ask all of you that claim you are the elite, you live in Abuja and in Lagos, when you got those phone calls that Ozowani was under attack, that Fulani headsmen are in Nimbo killing people, and you were calling DSS in Enugu, did he answer the phone? I want anybody to come out to say that during the attack on Nimbo, that DSS was reachable, or that they contacted Commissioner of Police in Enugu State. They are all Fulani. None of them was reachable. Not Omahi. Ugwani called Buhari then, he was alive in 2016. Buhari didn't take the phone. These were calls going, distress calls going to the army, the police, the DSS, and the presidency. Nobody answered the call. Until the Fulani people finished killing, they left Nimbo, and now they came the next day. But this one was, there was no public disturbance, there was no problem, no trouble, no fracas, nothing. They came and they killed. And the police commissioner said, and they called for enforcement. But when people of Nimbo was calling for enforcement, there was nobody. These are historical facts, which I would advise every Efulefu to go and study, including BBC Igbo. Go and study it. BBC Igbo, I want you to go and investigate. Ask the zoo, army and police and DSS, why did you not respond to Nimbo distress call when people were being massacred in Nimbo? I want zoo journalists to go and ask. Go and investigate. I want every Efulefu to go and ask. Now you can understand why we do what we do. But people were gathered somewhere and they were praying and clapping, and you came and you shot them. But when the same people were under attack by your own people, terrorists, Fulani terrorists, you did nothing. You did absolutely nothing. Now, what does that tell you about the zoo? Let us continue. He is saying, we want to water down Amotekun. We want to bring it down village by village, so it will no longer be a Yoruba-wide security outfit. And after that, they will pick you. Once you're village by village, they have the money, they control the armory, the Britain is on their side, they will pick you off one after the other. One after the other. One after the other. Don't you know that? That's what they want to do. And of course, the people, they are sensible enough not to cave into this rubbish. They cannot cave into this nonsense. Do you see the way they operate? Because they want to, they are in a hurry to take over everywhere. And nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. That is why we must remain resolute. That is why we must remain vigilant. That is why we must all pursue Biafra until Biafra comes. We are not stepping back. None whatsoever. He further stated that policing structure will be the same across the 36 states, and whatever does not conform with the national structure will not be in the scheme of things. In other words, everything has to be as the Fulani wants it. If not as the Fulani wants it, it is rubbish, it's not going to work. Look at them. Do you see the way they are? They want to take you over. They did the same thing to Hausa people. Today, there is nothing called Hausa Fulani. Forget that garbage. The only thing they have is Hausa language. Hausa people no longer exist. They don't exist. Oh, come here. Come. Okay, come. You get promotion. Oga Haruna is calling you. Okoresa. Haruna will tell him, okay, my boy, come here. You see those people, they want to divide Nigeria or IPOB. Those people, Oga, me, my hand no follow. I know be one of them. They send you, you come, you will die. That's for information. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, you will come as the fool you are, you will die there. Fools everywhere. They want, the constitution of the committee will be defined by including all council chairmen, traditional rulers, and religious leaders. That's what they want to do. religious leaders. So they'll bring imams to be part of Amotekun. They'll bring Fulani people to be part of Amotekun. They water it down. And as they are killing you, you will call your vigilante, you will call Amotekun, you will not hear anybody. That's what they want to do. You want people to subject their security apparatus to the same structure that you have, so that when Fulanis are killing people somewhere, nobody will respond. That's what they want to do. So you don't know that? Unbelievable. We are live and we are direct. The time now is 27 minutes past 8 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. We are bringing you the news that some people are running away from, and they can never, ever bring. They want to determine the fate of Amotekun. That's what they want to do. They want to control everybody. What they did to Hausa people, they want to do to all of you. If you're foolish, you allow it. If you all rise up with IPOB, we stand against these vandals, and they will disappear overnight. When I was preaching this gospel before, and I'm very, very happy today that the news is gone viral, it is everywhere. And I want to thank everybody who brought out this very news, everybody who has ever commented positively about this. It is a very simple headline, which of course, Tinubu being who he is, they have paid the Tribune, and they have now removed this very, sorry, it's this day. You know, this day has a way of publishing scoops, you know, these very hard to come by news. It was this day that also published what Buhari, the late Buhari, said about an attack against the North. It's an attack against Boko Haram, is an attack against the North. They paid them money, they went and removed it. That's what they do. It's a business. This day newspaper is run like a business. If they run a scoop, if they run a sensational news that is true, after a while you pay them money, they quietly go online, they pay Google, it's their property, they withdraw everything. If you go now online, you can no longer find this news. This was what I was telling all of you a while back.